Who's on the air?
You're on the air.
Oh, you are. Yeah.
I'm on the air.
Yeah.
You're on there.
Well, it's July, believe it or not.
A hot July.
Well, not that hot. It's only been 96, 98. Hasn't hit triple digits yet, except, well, it's felt like triple digits. It got really cool this afternoon when that storm rolled through. It was really delightful. Once that storm rolled through, it probably dropped down to the 70s, 60s for a minute or two. Anyway, upcoming events. Our next due at the Winnsboro Center for the Arts is the drama camp, the kids' drama camp, the kids on stage. They will be they're writing a musical comedy called The Good, the Bad, and the Ridiculous something. Silly, something very silly.
Good, the bad, and the silly.
And the very silly, or the extremely silly, or the extraordinarily silly. And even though it has the title of a Western, it's going to be about superheroes. It's a spoof on superheroes.
Like Clint Eastwood.
Not Clint Eastwood. No. Clint will not appear, will have nothing to do with the making of his music.
Oh man, I already bought my ticket.
Well, tickets are available for the Saturday or the Sunday performance here at the Emporium.
Looks like the shirts are available too.
Shirts are available. There's the new shirt, the Winnsboro Emporium t-shirt. I just had a few made. It comes with a Bowery stage on the back. So
If you
dual-purpose t-shirt.
define a few.
I also have Winnsboro Emporium coffee mugs for sale.
You got enough to supply the population of Winnsboro?
No, I do not. Very few.
Well, after this YouTube video, you may have to order
I
more.
may have a run on t-shirts. The next Bowery stage is Trout Fishing in America, which if you didn't see them last year, you missed something really, really neat. You should come. Tickets are $20 for reserve, $12 in advance. For general admission, $15 at the door. August 6th, it's a Saturday night.
I think it's fair to say that anybody that misses Live Poets Society has missed something special.
Well, that's true too. That's true. The trout fishing is a duo, bass and guitar. They sing. They do a lot of really funny stuff and a little serious stuff. And they normally do multi-thousand seat venues. So for them to come to Winnsboro and play for what we pay them is really a treat and really special. So you should go to that. The first Sunday Classical Series concert will be on September 4th. It's a Sunday. Actually, it falls on Sunday because it's the Sunday afternoon. And it's the Mid-Texas Symphony Chamber Players. That's the first one. We're selling that by the series, not individual tickets for concerts. So you buy the whole series. The prices are $37.57 and $39.59 and $79, depending on whether you want to sit up close or not. And there are count them, four concerts that you get to see. The first one is September 4th, then October 9th, and I don't know anything about them. And then November 6th, there's a guitar player who's been here before, Miguel Antonio, a wonderful classical and Spanish guitar.
Yeah, I really liked him.
And he's playing with a guy, a Russian fellow who plays the accordion. So that should be really interesting. And then the folks from the Mount Vernon Music will be here, a trio, the Millers and somebody else, cello, in January. So I highly advise it. Even if you don't think you like classical music, it'd be a real treat. It's not very expensive. And, so that's upcoming. The next Monday Night Live will be September the 19th, which is on a Monday night, the third Monday. I don't know what the music's going to be for that. You can go to the online guide for details on who's going to be here. For that, maybe they'll even tell you who's sponsoring it. So
There's one other thing to mention on upcoming events. Tomorrow night is music night at Tenney
Music
Chapel.
night at Tenney Chapel.
And one of the featured
quintessential
attractions
country
is Doc Davis.
Woohoo!
There's
I heard
also
that feller.
there's also a kids art thing coming up at the Art Center. The dates on the window, plus a comedy night at the end of the summer that Marianne Miller is putting together, which she's done before.
Doc Davis is described in the Winnsboro News this week as a raconteur.
A wreck, did you say? A wreck?
Raconteur.
I Googled that word and I ain't found it yet.
Were you pleased with what you found from Google?
I didn't find it.
Oh,
And
come
this
on.
is
You
just
must not have spelled it
And
right.
this is just a plug
I
for.
probably didn't spell it right.
It's a commonly used word for story. It's a
It's a plug for
storyteller.
something that's happening
okay.
in Paris, Texas. I don't know if I promote anything in Paris. I've never been to Paris. But Hannah Kirby with Kurt Bittner will be there on the 23rd of July. Tickets are $20 at That Guy's Coffee in Paris, Texas. I'm sure you're well familiar with that place. And there's a poster for that.
Okay. I think there's something on Facebook about that one.
So, that's the announcements, as far as I know.
Does the proprietor have something to read?
Yes, I'm going to read from I've read from this gal once before. This is Catherine Lee Bates. Catherine Lee Bates, if you don't remember who she was, wrote,
Didn't she write America the Beautiful?
she wrote America the Beautiful. And if you want to know why, Reader's Digest did a thing on why she wrote America's favorite song. Which I think I read last time. And then this is a book of her poetry. It's a first edition. It came out in 1911. And
Still selling like hotcakes.
still selling. It's still $50, which it was the last time I. Her sections are, her chapters are got little names on it, and so I'm going to. We're going to go to. This section is called The Praise of Nature, and I'll read one or two on this thing, and then pass the buck to somebody else. I've never read any of these, other than what I'm reading now. Someone's been at this page because the page is torn, so someone's been at it before.
She didn't own the Bates Motel, did she?
That's possible.
No, but she probably stayed there.
She may have stayed there. I don't know what her dates are. It's called Summer Dawn. It's quite short. Summer as in what we're in now, dawn as the sun is coming up. 3 hours since dreary midnight, and behold, sad whippoorwill, his solitary lay had scarcely ceased when clear from wood to wold rang out the choral melodies of day. And while the moon, a pallid film and cold, was fading back into a cloud of gray, the blithe young sun illumed with living gold the crested waves and amber misted spray. Short, I said it was short.
That was a short one. That was a short one.
I said it was short.
Yeah.
This is called Under the Ferns. Ferns, you know, the ferns.
Uh-huh.
Sing, bird, sing. Fill the dawn with glee. All the blessings of the spring light on thee. Choose, oh choose, choose a valentine, in the sunbeams and the dews only thine. Call, 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 on some twig she swings, apple blossoms somewhere fall down her wings. Strow, wind, strow, strow the drifted blooms. Blithest hearts may beat below brownest plumes. Dip, birds, dip, where the ferns lean over and their crinkled edges drip, haunt and hover. Trill your mirth high to heaven above, trill the tune of all the earth, love, love, love. Green, green, green doth the shadow rest, where the scented curtains screen, dainty nest. Peep, oh peep, waiting for a feather, cozy birdlings fast asleep, dream together. Dream, dream, dream of a brooding breast, on folded wings in shade and gleam lightly pressed. Folded wings must fly, not a bird in thicket sings, chill winds sigh. Blow, wind, blow, from the Norland's stern, fill the ruined nest with snow, blight the fern. Summer, pass to thy sepulchre, ye whose days are as the grass, weep for her. Let's see.
You ever laid under a fern?
Huh?
Have you ever laid under a fern?
I have a bunch of ferns, yes,
Yeah.
at some point in my distant past, very distant past. I was young. This is the worth of life. If thou tastest a crust of bread, thou tasteth the stars and the skies. So Paracelsus said, Paracelsus the wise. For the least of beauty that comes to the convict watching a cloud, the least of love in those homes too poor for cradle or shroud. Is beauty transcending dust? Is love that rebukes the beast? Let us say a grace for the crust that falls from the infinite feast. Okay, one more and then I will pass the book. This is called potpourri,
Oh, I like potpourri.
which is spelled pot, potpourri, but it's pronounced potpourri. Blush-colored roses droop with the day. Melody closes, lips are clay. But though beauties depart, their aroma shall be sealed in my heart, potpourri. Hummingbird joy, thistledown love, wisdom the toy, sorrow the dove. Fleet unto death, so treasure for me, sweet of their breath, potpourri. Life my garden, ambrosial, when thy skies harden and snowflakes fall, winter shall win a fragrancy, rose leaves in a potpourri. So much for Catherine Lee Bates.
All right.
I will surrender the podium.
Oh.
Actually, the lectern. That's the podium. This is the lectern. I found that out recently. That podium is what the lectern sits on.
I've been lied to all this time?
All this time you were deceived.
Wow, I better Google that too.
You better do that. Joe Dan knew that. He's a learned man.
I did.
Of course, we all had a great 4th of July.
That we did. That
Yeah.
we did.
I didn't stay for the fireworks show out at City Park.
Well, that's too bad because it was a good show this year.
I heard all the commotion and all that from the house. The day before I got to thinking about it, I was looking up some information on something and come across that I found that, the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development says that on any given night, any given night. There are around 47,000 homeless veterans sleeping in alleys, bridges, or whatever.
That's encouraging.
And got to think about, a little bit of a political thing here, but got to think about all these refugees that, the United States is supporting and bringing in and all that. So I come up with a poem, but I was going to make it into a song. So I decided I'd bring it and read it as the poem, but I'm going to sing it tomorrow night at Tenney Chapel.
Is this something you wrote?
I wrote this personally. It's called Out in the Cold. I wrote it July 3rd. I gave you years of my life away from my home, strapped on a gun for you and become one to roam. Defending and killing was what you trained me to do. Did my job you asked, and when I was done, home I flew. I'm out in the alley, I'm starving and cold. You've set my life aside and put it on hold. I can't believe after all I've done and went through across the seas, all them refugees mean a lot more to you than you think of me. I won many awards in return for a lot of handshakes I got, for all the conflicts in war that I continually fought. They used to mean so much to my mind and soul, but now seems worthless for all the time that you stole. I'm out in the alley, I'm starving and cold. You've set my life aside and put it on hold. I can't believe after all I've done and went through across the seas, all them refugees mean a lot more to you than you think of me. My life seems in vain now, that it was time that was wasted. I can't help but have so much confusion and so much hatred against our government that is truly letting me down as I live in a dirty old alley in the edge of your town. I'm in the alley, I'm starving and cold. You set my life aside and put it on hold. I can't believe after all you've done, after all I've done and went through across the seas, of all the refugees mean a lot more to you than you think of me.
Amen. So that's Out in the Cold is the title.
Out in the Cold, original by Doc Davis. Thank you.
Excellent. Well said.
He's got a chord so I can sing it.
Oh, he's got chords. You got a tune to sing it to?
Oh, yeah.
Right.
I actually sang it last Tuesday night.
The tune of what? You Are My Sunshine.
No, just,
A nice happy song.
Just hold that. If you need to zoom it, you know how to do that. Don't you?
yeah, zooms up here.
Yeah, that'll zoom.
Okay, and it's going right now.
Yeah, it's still
Yes,
on.
Yep, I see the lights flashing.
It's got 11 minutes and 21 seconds left.
Okay,
That should be it.
so you gotta talk fast.
Pardon me?
You have to talk fast.
Yeah. Well, no, it's not. I don't have that much. I forgot I have that book thing to read too. I forgot about that.
Yes, don't forget the book. Another chapter. Another chapter. Another paragraph.
Okay, I'm Joe Dan Boyd, and I normally, the last several times, I've been reading poems by my late daughter, but tonight I'm going to read one of mine, well, two of mine, but one of them is about my late daughter. And this was written soon after I got the news that she had died. And I called it Birth and Death. Well, actually, I'm going to back up here. I've got the wrong poem here for that, but this is a good poem too. This poem, called Birth and Death, with subtitled Hello and Goodbye, was written after one of my nieces who lives in Florida had her first child, when she was 42 years old, and I thought it was an unusual enough situation to write a little poem about it. So, Birth and Death, or Hello and Goodbye, by Papa Joe Boyd. That's the way I listed it because that's kind of the way I'm known in the family. 2 rings of the telephone bring tidings both light and dark. One cousin twice removed, now gone. Another, a great nephew's birth is marked. Jeff Newton, age 49, leaves behind a morning parade, family and friend, a likable man, both genial and kind, his long-haul road days at an end. Hello to Bryson Levi Heiser, Caesarean birth, 6 pounds, 9 ounces, 19 inches in length, to his 43-year-old mom, a hope of the earth. The one, a source of joy, the other, a sad lament. I guess I was 1 year off on her age. Okay, the other one is a tribute. That was a tribute to birth and death. This is a tribute to ukuleles I have known. In fact, that is the title, Ukuleles I Have Known. I wrote this back in 2011 when I was somehow inspired to write about my introduction to good ukuleles and my continued obsession with ukuleles. A silver tone from Sears, first uke I owned, brought me teenage tears when it was sat on. Window of a music store about a decade hence, it was a ukulele and more. Broke down all defense. Inside to check it out, it's a concert Martin. Just can't do without. My life to enhearten. Price is $55 with case. The year is 1961. No way to about face. This is to be the one. Other ukes come and go, and I love one and all. One thing sure I know, I am in this one's thrall. And now I will read our single paragraph. Oh Lord, it's a long one.
7 minutes.
Our single paragraph from How to Read a Poem by Edward Hirsch, subtitled And Fall in Love with Poetry. The 3 poets tonight have all fallen in love with poetry. What especially intrigues me about one art is how scrupulously Bishop has built a second structure into the villainy form. She has reconfigured it so that the form itself becomes causal to the meaning. She starts small and continually enlarges the losses, beginning with inconsequential things, the door keys, the wasted hour, and moving up from there. The 3rd stanza provides the essential clue as to how we are meant to read this poem. Then practice losing further, losing faster, she writes, signifying that the losses are going to progress, going further, coming more quickly. It is worse to give up places and names and where it was you meant to travel than to misplace keys or misspend an hour. Though, as she hastens to add, it's still not a catastrophe. She then enlarges the terms by moving to the first poignant loss in the poem. The first thing that truly matters, I lost my mother's watch. Now we are getting closer to home. And look, she exclaims, focusing the reader into an intimate listener, a confidant, my last or next to last of 3 loved ones went. It's characteristic of Bishop to diffuse the more melodramatic statement, my last of 3 loved ones loved houses went, by nature of the feeling. So to be as precise as possible about the impact of loss. Penultimate house to 2 beautiful cities, even larger than that, some Shakespearean realms, including a couple of splendid rivers and an entire continent where she once lived. We have completed an arc that moves from losing door keys to relinquishing a continent. And now, for the first time in the poem, in the 15th line and the penultimate stanza, she acknowledges losing something she actually misses. I miss them, she admits, immediately adding, but it was not a disaster. Randall Jarrell once said about John Crow Ransom, most writers become over-rhetorical when they are insisting on more emotion than they actually feel or need to feel. Ransom is just the opposite. He is perpetually insisting by his detached, mock pedantic, wittily complicated tone that he is not feeling much at all, not half so much as he really should be feeling. The end for the day, and thank you, Conrad Wolfman, for hosting us at Winnsboro Emporium, the unique store of Winnsboro, Texas, on historic Market Street.
Thank you very much.
3 minutes left over.
How about that? You want to sing the song
Huh.
for the last 3 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll save it for tomorrow night.
We'll save it for tomorrow night. You can record it tomorrow night.
Is this? Yeah, I am. Is this the? No, you sang it once. Where'd you sing?
I'm singing it over at Richie's. Tried out. I had 2 songs. I sang one, that one there, and then I sang one. It's called the Suicide Waltz.
Did you write that one too?
Yeah.
You gonna sing both of them tomorrow night?
No, just one.
By the way, tomorrow we'll once again have the farmers market, which will be here from 8 to noon on Market Street. Lots
Okay.
of great produce and honey and other stuff.
Okay.
Don't let the heat keep you away. We'll be here.
Pull your shirt tail down a little bit so I can read everything on there.
There we go.
So the camera can read everything there. There we go.
1995 plus tax.
Whatever it says over there. Yeah,
How
probably,
huh?
probably about that.
Oh, they're not on sale yet,
Yeah, they're on sale. I haven't.
but you just hadn't figured out how much to charge.
About $20.
Or maybe you'll charge each time depending on what you think the person can
Whatever I
afford to
can
pay.
Afford to pay. That's right.
I'm a poor boy. I'm a poor
And
boy out in the country.
it has the Bowery Stage, Winnsboro Center for the Arts on the back.
Oh yeah, let me get that too. You have to turn all the way
Turn around a little
around.
bit more.
Oh, boy. You're making it tough for me here.
So this is also a promotion for
That's it.
the ticket seller for the Bowery Stage from the Birth Center for their promoting your election to that esteemed office.
That's right. That's right.
Okay,
Everybody can say that. So.
that's right. Okay,
So I say it.
we run out of
Run out of
tape.